Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this is an idea that's been kicking around in my head, and it revolves around Caemlyn and how much attention it receives in Season 3. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about that and some of the potential plot points that could very likely happen, focusing in on the Lion Throne of Andor and the seat of House Trakand. This video will include information from up to Book 5, The Fires of Heaven. And if you enjoy these types of speculative videos, let me know by liking this one and subscribe to the channel. If there's an interest, I'll keep making them. I've been having a lot of fun keeping myself busy with these types of videos in the long wait for Season 3. So, let's get into it. The Caemlyn plot is going to be a tricky one. On one hand, I hope it will get a bit of an elevated status because of how many connections there are between House Trakand in the way it affects things down the road. But in terms of how many other large storylines need to happen this season, it might not be the case. With events happening in the Aiel Wastes, the Two Rivers, Tanchico, and the White Tower, it might not be possible to expand how much time we spend in Caemlyn. So first, let's look at the connections and events tied to the city. In the books, Elaine is presumed missing, and it causes a rift between Valon and Morgase, Elaine's mother, the Queen. This, of course, snowballs in terms of consequences, with the Red Ajah member Elaida being cast out of the Queen's court and sent back to the White Tower, which eventually leads to the deposition of Siuan Sanche. It's an incredibly important event, so this seems very likely to happen. To build on Elaida, I can see her screen time getting bumped up in a way Liandrin's was, specifically because I think she's one of the most anticipated characters of the season. And if I were in the writer's room, she would easily be one of the most interesting characters to write in terms of motivation and dialogue. But Elaida will most likely also spend time in Tar Valon, so many of the events involving her will most likely take place there. So let's set her aside for now. Arguably, another side effect of Elaida leaving is the fact that it creates a space for one of the Forsaken, Ravin, to enter Morgase's court, and during his time there, he starts to dismiss the Queen's allies while replacing them with his own. Not only are they his allies, but if we look to the books, they are actually direct threats for Morgase and the people she fought in the succession for the throne. It's a really dynamic story and one that I hope we see. But there's obviously a lot up in the air regarding this plot. Ravin hasn't been confirmed for the season. We can assume there will be 4 male Forsaken characters given the amount of statues that we've seen in Season 1 and seals from Season 2. Ishamael is number 1, Asmodean seems most likely for number 2, and a recent audition script located by WatchSeries.com points to Samael as number 3. That only leaves one open slot for Ravin, Dimandred, or Bilal. So keep in mind, it's possible that we don't even get a named character of Ravin, but another Forsaken like Samael could overtake his actions in Caemlyn, whether it be in Season 3 or later. But I feel as though his appearance or lack of will be the biggest indicator of just how much of Morgase's story we will see. So, if there's no Ravin or no Lord Gabriel, maybe we could see something like Morgase dismissing Gareth Bryn and appointing a new Captain General of the Queen's Guard, and it be Samael. This would work considering his background as a general. At first, it seems pretty far-fetched, but it might actually make sense to smash together 2 storylines, Morgase, Ravin, and the takeover of Caemlyn, with Samael the Shido and the Second Battle of Cairhien. I don't know if there would be time to see this in Season 3, but it could be worth it setting it up for future events in season 4. So let's move on to another strong tie to the Caemlyn story, Thom Merrilin. If we go by book 4 alone, it's unlikely we will see him in the city, but that doesn't rule it out. There is potential for his story to backtrack a bit and take over the plots of book 3, where he and Matt deliver Elaine's letter to his mother. The show could potentially decide to show his ties to Morgase in real time, rather than have the character tell us about the relationship, and I think I would actually prefer this option. There was also an image of the actor who plays Thom posted to Instagram showing him in front of a set location that was used for Caemlyn. This is an outdoor set that features a medieval looking European city, so if it's not Caemlyn, it could also be used for Caemlyn as well. The thing I'm stuck on is if Thom will go to Caemlyn or Tanchico or both. If they wanted to include him in both locations, I could see him starting in Queen Morgase's service as a spy and sent to find Elaine, leading him to Tanchico. But if that's the case, it seems improbable for Matt to go to Caemlyn to deliver the letter and to the Io Waste, and if rumors are true, to Tanchico. Overall, Caemlyn and Morgase is a big question mark. I think the introduction of the capital could be a really great opener for the first episode. The rumored location for the interior of the Royal Palace of Andor is Vranov Dyji Castle, and it looks like a very beautiful location. But according to WatSeries.com, the choice of an on-location shoot, however, suggests we may not spend too much time in the palace in season 3. The castle is located more than 200 kilometers from Jordan Studios, in the South Moravian region of the Czech Republic, making frequent shoots at this location inconvenient. And while I agree with this statement, the location could serve for one main shot, the dismissal of Elida, an event that would take place in a very formal setting. So I don't want to rule out the possibility of seeing Morgase in other settings or the possibility of other outdoor locations of Caemlyn. If we did see the Royal Palace of Andor as an opener, I think it would be a great way to introduce a bunch of new characters. We could see Morgase, Gawain, Galad, Elida, and Lini. The shot could revolve around Morgase being upset that there has been no contact with her daughter in months, and that the White Tower is hiding her or has lost her. It could end on Morgase casting Elida out of her service, and then the scene transitions to Elaine, perfectly unharmed, spending time with Rand. And like I mentioned earlier, there's no way to tell right now if Morgase and Caemlyn will be more than just a cameo plot. But I think there's potential for more considering events that happen there later on in the story. So let me know what you think. Would you rather events revolving around Morgase be shown quickly, or would you enjoy a little more focus on her and the connections of the royal line of Andor? Do you think we will see Ravine? Would it make sense to combine him with another one of the Forsaken, like Samael? What are your hopes for season 3 and onward? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back next time.